LA, tires smoking because he was gassing it. He was gassing it. The amount of rubber, I'm sure you could smell it for a block or so.
Well, we just saw a
he
hubcap.
was spitting out.
We just saw a hubcap go flying across the street.
He's losing control now too. You could see it's the vehicles, and even when he makes a turn like this, it's going to be. He's still carrying on though. He's got his window down a little bit now. We can see he's wearing a red shirt there. Two individuals in that vehicle, a male driver, a stolen vehicle suspect. That's how this all started, and a companion. And there's a lot of people lining that street right there.
Falls off, Rick.
Look at that. And then we're going to see some sparks, and LAPD, they were out with their guns drawn, and now it looks like he's coming to a stop here. He's interacting with some people, and whether or not he knows or the passenger knows these people, we don't know at this point. But in the same South LA neighborhood for a good hour now, and fortunately, we have not witnessed anybody except for those two drivers in those vehicles on the 110 freeway be injured. Some gesturing outside the passenger, and look at that. There's the fire. There's the sparks. It's firing coming off that back left rim there. That was the one that we saw just smoking, and I can't make out. I don't know if you can, Marla, if the passenger there is gesturing for sure, male or female, but two occupants inside the cab of this pickup truck.
Certainly hard to get a good look, but at one point it looked like the door was opening even on the passenger side, so maybe the passenger is going to make an attempt to foot bail. You can see the door just ajar, just slightly.
And rolling on a rim, at least one rim, rolling on a rim on that, which, you know, in a vehicle like that, especially on any car, is not an easy task to maneuver. And he continues, and he's still moving at a good rate of speed.
40 miles per hour with three wheels, nonetheless, crossing over South Broadway.
Every minute that the pursuit lasts, that poses the risk for something to happen that would impact an innocent person. And the good news is, at this point, that vehicle is definitely been disabled, and it's not going to be able to rip down 75, 80 miles an hour. There it is. There's a fire spitting out, and that's the tire that we just saw spitting rubber. That was NASCAR action there on that surface street there, as we saw that pickup truck, that white pickup. It was pickup versus pickup, trying to block the vehicle, trying to let the LAPD convene on the vehicle and bring this to an end. And a valiant move, but a dangerous one by the driver of that pickup truck. And that pickup truck has damage now as well. The driver of that pickup truck, that was the white one, that was trying to block this alleged stolen vehicle. Not alleged that this is a dangerous, reckless, bad individual in terms of endangering so many people. And you could see the fire spitting out of that, and we'll see. It's going to start to this could impact the vehicle even more. And a spark getting up underneath the gas tank is always a danger. And that begs the question again: how much gas did this car have? Because this pursuit's been going on in some time, and a truck like that doesn't get the best of gas mileage.
No,
so here we go through South LA still.
Right, and you know, Rick, it was what, three to 5 minutes ago that you said this is going to have to come to an end quickly, given the condition of this vehicle. And you know, we've seen this before, though, where they just will go and go despite being impaired this dramatically. Oh, you just saw the rim.
Oh, something just came off.
Yes.
Look at that! Wow.
And it hit that.
Okay, let's see the vehicle now. It hit that vehicle. This is something else, and he's still moving on. I believe that both back wheels have been disabled, but it's the back left wheel that is really gone. But it's amazing that this truck is still able to, very close there, obviously against the red light. But now there's a better opportunity that the vehicle isn't going at such a high rate of speed. If they do have an opportunity to try the pit maneuver, although it's more difficult to conduct that pit maneuver, that pursuit intervention technique on a vehicle this size because of the weight of this pickup truck. But spitting out smoke, it is something else here. And this pursuit has gone on quite some time here through South LA, having started in Pomona with a CHP handle, lighting them up. Alleged stolen vehicle. And the pursuit was on. Miles down the freeways coming out of East Los Angeles County towards downtown LA into South Los Angeles. And that's where this pursuit has been for all of our coverage, Marla.
Certainly, and we've been on the air for 1 hour at this point. And Rick, it's one thing to get this driver to stop and get this person into custody. That's the next stage of this pursuit, right? Is once they do get this vehicle to stop, to get this person into custody, that could be a whole nother.
You're right. And a lot of times it turns into a standoff situation now, traveling against traffic yet again. Gage and Avalon he can still manipulate that vehicle. There was another spike strip there, attempt at least. I'm amazed that he can still manipulate the vehicle. It's just it appears now it's really just that far back left wheel that's really been disabled. The right back one still looks in decent shape, but that was the one that was really spitting up all that rubber while he was putting the gas to the floor. I mean, he was trying to do whatever he could to nudge, to use the force of his vehicle to push that white pickup truck that was blocking him in that narrow conduit in South LA, and finally it appeared that the pickup truck just started to move, and he was able to needle through there and get away, and it's on. But it did some damage. It damaged that far left vehicle, which is definitely having an impact on his ability to speed. He's still able to make his turns okay, and you know, there's times where these pursuits will just stop. You see all this craziness, and then they decide, I'm done, and they just pull over. There's other times where finally the police are able to roll with that pit maneuver or the spike strip, and the car becomes disabled, out of gas. But then, as you mentioned, Marla, once the pursuit stops and the vehicle is no longer moving, that doesn't mean the situation isn't over. It can turn into a long standoff.
Oh, yeah, and we've seen that happen as well. So the one thing that you hadn't seen in all your times in Sky Fox and covering pursuits is getting boxed in by just somebody on the street in another pickup. As you said, it was pickup to pickup, and then that's when he literally burned rubber and burned one of his tires off. Now just driving on the axle here.
That was something else.
Yeah, that was something else. And then in this... We're seeing in this double box now what happened earlier on the 110, literally driving the wrong way on the 110, trying to exit on an on-ramp, and that's when that head-on collision happened.
That was the Manchester on-ramp, and he was traveling northbound in southbound lanes on the 110 Harbor Freeway, and he was trying to exit at Manchester, and he collided head-on with that sedan, and that sedan was badly damaged. On a rim, you could see that. That is something else. And you could also see in the upper right our Extreme Nav system that Skyfox HD is equipped with. Not only are you able to see the pinpoint location, but also the speed at which this suspect is moving. And you could see that speed number has come way down because of the fact that that back left tire is gone. He's on, and there's going to come a point where whatever's left on there is going to just drop off, and then it's going to be unlikely he's going to be able to continue on. There's just enough lift in that vehicle still with the other three tires that he can continue on, and not at a high rate of speed anymore. I mean, but still moving pretty quickly given the damage. And this will be a situation where officers have a little bit more opportunity perhaps to try to bring this to an end. And the longer it stays in this neighborhood as well, the South LA neighborhood, more and more people are coming out. They're getting wind of it, watching on their personal device. And remember, you can always stream us, foxla.com, during our newscast or during any breaking news. We cover these pursuits through Facebook as well, so that we'll keep you covered and safe. And it's important to stay safe inside your home and watch it there, however you watch it, to not endanger yourself or your family. We've seen a lot of people come out gesturing to the driver, and you just never know what you're dealing with the suspect, because we know this suspect is not dealing very well at all in terms of his mental state.
No, and we still don't know if the suspect is armed. Oh, you can see some movement from the passenger gesturing to a vehicle as they go by here. Looks like that passenger might be head out of the window. It's hard to get a good look at that here. At one point, we can tell you that the passenger door was ajar, as if this passenger was going to try to make a run for it. This is the third pursuit, Rick, that you've covered, high-speed pursuit this week. Earlier, the other high-speed pursuit in Burbank ended on surface streets with a pit maneuver, and that driver, that suspect, foot bailed and was taken into custody shortly after. Now nearing 60 miles per hour, coming up on this intersection, obviously dropping speeds as this person makes a right turn, the suspect onto another main street here in South LA. We've seen just circling this
And there
neighborhood
you go.
for
You're
the
right.
last hour.
You're right. The gesturing, You're right, Marla, of the passenger there. And I still can't make out if it's a male or
Look like
female
a female
at this time.
You'll get another.
Yeah, that's
good
what
look.
I thought initially.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought initially, but I couldn't tell on the monitor I'm seeing here. But still, now it seems like the driver's choosing to stay on the main streets more than the surface, the numbered streets, the residential streets that run east-west through South Los Angeles here. But as you could see, still evading police on Century Boulevard here, and with essentially 3 tires rolling on a rim there in the back left tire because of the incident that he had with that white pickup truck that attempted to block him so that the LAPD units could convene. And we saw it with guns drawn, but then that white pickup truck was nudged just to the right and was provided an opening. And that driver, that suspect in that silver pickup, was able to needle his way through. And the pursuit continued here through South LA, now on Main Street, and staying in South LA for the entire duration of our coverage here on Fox 11.
And now just rolling on 3 of 4 tires. That back left tire completely gone. Just nothing there but the axle at this point. Still able to maintain a decent speed and elude officers. You see the cruisers maintaining significant distance in the back, but you have to imagine that, as you say, Rick, they're converged on this neighborhood where they have been for the last hour, so we don't know what's ahead. Just going by a cone, you see a cone just fly up in the air there. It's nice to see when these streets are a little less empty. This has been a very busy morning, Friday morning on the streets. We've mentioned that we're safer at home, but with more retail opening up, there certainly are more cars on the road, more than what we've been used to seeing in the last 8 weeks or so.
No question. And we saw that at least early on, especially when we started coverage of this pursuit that started in Pomona, if you're just tuning in, as a stolen vehicle suspect that was lit up by the California Highway Patrol. CHP handed it off to LAPD eventually once this pursuit entered the Los Angeles Police Department's jurisdiction. And now back onto those numbered streets, 87th place here. And our Extreme Nav showing you that overlay, which is so helpful as you can track this pursuit from home, the neighborhood. Stay inside. Try not to be a hero. That pickup truck driver, that white pickup truck driver did just what he really is not recommended. And I know that he was able to allow police to get close, and for this pickup truck, the silver pickup truck being pursued, to lose that back left tire. Now making a turn on San Pedro Street, so back on a north-south street here through South LA, staying in the same neighborhood. Looks like it's slowing down even more, though. This you could really look at that back tire is just nothing. I mean, there's no tire. It's just look more flames. Again, any spark like that could cause an issue, and that vehicle, could very well catch fire. But definitely at a lower rate of speed. There's no question, because of the fact that tire is completely gone at this point. But the pursuit continues, and this just allows this driver to stay out of custody. But LAPD is going to bring this to an end one way or another here. They're in the air, they're on the ground, they're watching this suspect.
It truly is amazing. 11:46, we've been on the air for more than an hour. What we've witnessed in these last 60 minutes, pretty incredible. And really, the best news is there have not been any significant injuries to innocent pedestrians out on the roads today. Of course, we do feel so badly for the driver who was just trying to get on the 110 on this Friday morning and on the on-ramp and face this pursuit suspect, this dangerous driver here, and suffered a head-on collision. We don't know the injuries. It didn't look like that sedan, that person was significantly harmed. We certainly hope not. Obviously, that's a whole separate scene at this point. And as we just continue to track this driver here, going close to 40 miles per hour on 3 tires, it is just fascinating to think that he has eluded officers all this time.
It is, and especially that he's on his axle, essentially, in that back left tire area. Okay, the door's opening. Passenger door is opening now, so let's see if that female, we believe, that's inside is attempting to get out. Wide open now. Let's see. Let's see if she's going to try to make a bail here, because the vehicle has slowed down considerably. All right, pulling into a driveway or an alley now. Real tight area here again. This is a mixed residential commercial area here. And once again, begs the question if this is an area that this suspect and or the passenger are familiar with. Through the alley, back on a surface street, and you can see that door open, and she has an opportunity to hop out at this low rate of speed, but choosing to stay inside the vehicle.
And Rick, what do you make of the damage to the windshield there?
Yeah, that I'm not sure where that came from. I think that there was a couple of situations where we saw the one man who came up on the intersection, a pedestrian, and threw something in the back, like towards the back, and then there was another situation where there was all kinds of gestures and things going on, and we believe that somebody threw something at the windshield there.
I'm just getting
somebody
word
that he was gesturing to.
I'm just getting word here that, yeah, in fact, it was thrown. Some pedestrian, one of the times that we saw someone go up to the vehicle, someone did, in fact, throw something, and there's the evidence right there on the front windshield.
And this is the slowest we've seen this pursuit. Am I correct here, Marla, since it started, since we first started coverage? And that female passenger keeps opening the door, making gestures, and now he stopped. So let's see what happens. All right, here comes the female. Doors open. Dangerous situation. Officers likely behind. We'll widen out a little bit and see. Yep, there they are. Officers, guns drawn, and they're running. This guy, here goes the driver. He's running, hat on, red shirt or red jacket, and LAPD in foot pursuit, and they're going to bring this guy down. He's down, in custody. All right, let's go back to see the female now. Yep. That was an odd ending. Again, they all end in such different ways. There's the female being taken into custody. A couple of pooches out there seeing what's going on. And